the weird stuff, there's a balance between, that doesn't mean you should just put her aside, use her against the tanks, right? Like, it depends on what the situation is. So I would like to see the teams play what they're good at.
All right, folks, we are into the action. Dudadunga versus IX. Dudadunga coming off a swift victory in the semifinals. IX have been lying in wait after taking down the #1 seed Tribe Gaming, and this is the culmination of their efforts here in this best of 3 final. Still a best of 3, same format as we were doing all day. And you can see Second Besting Company employing the Sprout Center strategy. We saw this as one of the very first matches of the day, and it did a great job. They had Carl lurking around the bushes. Here it's going to be Spike. And didn't quite see who QQ had. Is that Terra over there? Okay, so Piper holding mid actually falls to the Sprout. The idea there is that she can shoot at either lane from mid, but Sprout just being the gem collector, blocking mid over and over. This is playing out exactly like they wanted to, and Dudadunga just seemed out of sorts, no real attack plan.
Coming into this one, we were talking about IX really stepping it up individually. CryingMan as a character, QQ, is a guy that, like, he's either really on or really not, and he went from really not to really on in those last moments, and that brought him here. Second best as well was just landing every single utility pull, really just kind of enabling his team to do it. And this is kind of what I expected and what I alluded to, but I didn't kind of commit because I was afraid of the full commit here, was the idea that despite the fact that we see Dudadunga give us the 2-0-2-0 against Tempo Typhoon.
And says something about his perceived power level, but we are back into the action now. Again, looks much better than the last one as far as latency, so we'll continue moving on here. And mid, again, just establishing that Sprout control. It looks like Minwoon wants to try to mirror what Second Best was doing in the previous game. The kills actually go to Dudadunga first, with Skywalker getting on the board, and now with CryingMan falling as well, we could see Dudadunga do to IX what they just did to them. A little bit of a rebuttal, just with a little bit of a roster switch. And CryingMan on Surge, I don't know if it helps or hurts. So far, I mean, he's clearly played worse than the first time around, but may just be a result of Dudadunga focusing him a little bit harder. But and he goes down again, and Dudadunga still in mid control, still just Sprout collecting.
This has been a much more back and forth, though. You know, game number 1 was just like IX in a different category. Dudadunga just sort of showing up. This time around, you know, we're tied as far as gems are concerned. IX stepped up and took control of that mid, then Dudadunga took control of that mid, then Sprout was able to block it off, and now here we are kind of back in the saddle as far as both teams kind of trading for mid. 7 gems on the side of the red team, Dudadunga continuing to kind of step forward, and they're going to ring the bell in just a little bit. They got to pick up those gems, and all of a sudden, Dudadunga's like, listen, as dominant as y'all were in game number 1, that's not going to happen to us 2 times in a row.
Well, I'm watching CryingMan because he's been struggling to level up the Surge, you know, get to that higher stat line, but he just walked up last time. He was trying to grab the gems that were on the ground and just did not have the health pool for it. So I don't know if he was just maybe unaware of where the enemy team was literally standing. But at this point, Dudadunga, again, it's just a flipped script from the first game we saw here. Again, the egg timer, we just turned it over, right? Like, that's all that happened.
To take away from IX.
All right, as we march back onto the field, see if there's any switches. I see Mr. P up there in the top left, but it's going to be CryingMan. First eliminated once again, this time on the Tara, getting rid of that Surge option. We've seen CryingMan on Tara a few times here. He has sometimes shined, sometimes not so much, but as you see Mally actually getting, you know, deep into enemy territory here, I'm curious what the game plan is there. But he is still taking care of business, still dishing out that damage.
I mean, 0 gems on the Mr. P, and so that allows him to kind of push up, no questions asked. But look at this, Sprout locks him in, and he gets put down. Beautiful play. Again, the individual prowess coming out from the members on IX. Second best makes that happen by himself. Okay, fine, I'll lock you in here, Molly. No problem.
Dudadunga have the gems, though, so while all that's going on, I mean, Mr. P proves to end up just being a distraction. While Dudadunga's Sprout, Minwoon is just grabbing every gem one at a time here. IX forced to respond to the rogue Mr. P. Ends up costing him a lot of time, but now this is going to be a tough task actually killing the Sprout. Like, this is the reason they're running this composition, is because Sprout is such a good gem holder. That's a great little cabbage bounce there from second best, but can't find the last one to get those gems out of his opponent. QQ CryingMan trying to make a lunge forward, juking where he can, but it's actually Spike from behind that takes him down. Gems tied at 7.
Beautiful play here by IX. This is a lot of Brawl Stars victories come from playing very, very aggressively, very, very fast, and just kind of like whirlwinding versus your opponent. But every now and then, you've got to play really tactically and really carefully. And that's what we saw of IX. Dudadunga, you broke it down flawlessly. The Mr. P distraction, Dudadunga was just kind of running it. And then IX go, oh, word? And then they slow the game down. Dudadunga has not gained a single gem since the Mr. P distraction. Instead, IX are able to cut down Dudadunga completely, take their money, walk on home, and take the game just crisp. Just beautifully played by IX. That's a professional team right there.
Yeah, that really showed composure and patience, being 2 words that I have not used at all yet today, because as you said, like, a lot of the strategies are just all gas, no brakes, faster characters, slower characters, tanky, glass, etc. Brawl Ball, it's literally just looking at all 3 as one sort of team, one unit. Like, what can they do utility-wise generally, as far as like blowing up terrain or blocking terrain, end up coming into play a lot more than just like a glass cannon blowing you up, because that ball still has to travel. Just dying is not enough. So huge already. Czar going down there means that Dudadunga can be in control of the ball. Where will they end up actually placing it? They're actually not even sending it back out until they get better control here.
I really like, I like the Carl selection here for IX. I think that Carl does really well on this map specifically because he's able to kind of, you know, bounce off the walls really, really well. Sprout is Sprout, and Tara does a good job of pulling defenders as well. So, score here for IX.
Yep, very nice.
Just individual play, getting the kills. Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, as soon as you started talking about Carl, my eyes naturally were drawn to him. He managed to win a 1v1, while over on the right side, they had a 2v2, got 1 of the 2 kills. That's all they needed to walk up together as a unit and just knock that right through the goalpost. Here we have the reset, though. Minwoon trying to push forward, does get the kill very quickly on CryingMan, who was maybe a little bit out of position, but the snap back there from Czar keeps things nice and even. Mally, suddenly the only player left alive, and he's not even going to try to send the ball into enemy territory because they may never get the ball back if they do that. IX could feasibly just hide it in the corner and sit on it for 50 seconds. So the ball being center is not necessarily the worst thing in the world. Skywalker, though, going to have to deal with this, and he actually got destroyed by the Carl earlier, so he's going to have to be careful here.
Good pull after good pull. Skywalker really stepping up his game here and making sure to land all the gene grabs. 30 seconds left here. Dudadunga trailing by a goal. Czar sends it towards...
Not going to make it, and there's no own goal. 20 seconds left to try and make something happen here. As the Skywalker respawns, they're just going to go for it. I mean, obviously you're working against the clock, but at this point, Sprout locking him into the goal. Midfield, you got Carl just spinning to win, taking down Spike, and that is going to be IX with the first game on Brawl Ball. They did score again, so it is a 2-0, but it was going to happen anyway. Dead time, dead minutes, as fantasy football players are well familiar with. But that's IX taking a lead.
A goal's a goal. That's where I come from.
They were falling to Carl too much. Gene was grabbing them back to their side of the field, but that doesn't, you know, it didn't really help secure anything. So they do switch it up a little bit. Minwoon this time with the tank character there, just blasting away. Actually nearly took down CryingMan at the very beginning of the game.
I like both teams brought out
Bull, yeah.
Both teams brought out a bull with the idea that, like, all right, if you're gonna keep Gene grabbing,
how did that happen?
Just walk past them.
Oh my goodness. That was ridiculous. He got pulled, yeah. So, very interesting first goal there for IX. Could actually end up winning them this entire open qualifier in the end. Just a weird little chain of events there, but now the kills are still piling up for IX. They still have the ball under their control. CryingMan, you know, actually Bull doesn't have that much more health.
Beautiful
And
Tara ult.
Tara.
Lines it up. Okay, this is it. Second best is gonna walk up.
This could be game over.
And the bounce off protected by Minwoong.
All right, so a last-second save protects the tournament life. However, IX is still in a great position here. Ball still on Dudadunga's side, but you can see the pull there resulting in a kill for IX. That gives them the power play opportunity here. They got the numbers advantage. Mally is in no man's land here, just trying to survive, while Minwoong goes deep. Does get taken down, though, so still a 2v1 man advantage. CryingMan now with the ball. They've got time on their side. They've got the goal advantage. They're just hanging out. They're just waiting, staying in control of that ball. I don't even expect them to make a play on the goal unless they happen to get a triple kill.
I don't know about that. Tara's going to set it up. Upper dashes forward.
There
kicks
it is.
2 for Czar. IX takes it. And that's your finals. IX are your week 2 victors.
IX, congratulations. That is Open Qualifier number 2 for North America going their way.